Hello. Um, Coming today to meet with you because typically on a Wednesday at about this time, I'm teaching some classes, and those classes are concluded for now, and future classes are in design. Um, I've been coming here occasionally to meet with friends, Facebook friends that I know, Facebook friends that I don't know and have a lot of respect for, and that's why you're my Facebook friends. My colleagues from the Institute of Integral Qigong and Tai Chi, and all the people who've been in these courses that I have recently concluded. And I want to do a little practice with you today to remind us of how easy it is to maximize our well-being. But first, let's just talk for a few moments about the fact that there's really nobody who is in the role of an expert around the maximization of health or medical expert who is on the, shall we say, the national media or the news that talks about how we can maximize our well-being. And I just don't get that. To me, it's a sign of the fact that our society doesn't know how to support people in being the self-determining citizens that we fought the Revolutionary War to become. The concept of self-determinism means that an informed person moves ahead in their life with courage and not in fear. And we happen to be living in an era, and apparently it's been kind of getting like this for quite a while, where individuals don't trust themselves and they don't think that their own experience has any value. And so the whole idea that you could heal yourself or that you could produce internal resources that are healing resources, those ideas are really not very widespread in our society. There are millions of people, and we now know this from the coronavirus, that the extent to which the coronavirus has been impacting on our culture is largely due to the fact that our citizens are actually not well and not functionally very capable. And therefore, next to other societies that have suffered less under this disorder, people in America have a lot of comorbidities, means underlying health challenges. Now, these underlying health challenges, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and other very common illnesses like chronic obstructive lung disorder, COPD, arthritis. So all of these kinds of health challenges, which are typically called chronic degenerative diseases, make a person more at risk for infection. And we're all at risk for infection. So what we're really saying is that these underlying diseases make us more at risk to die from an infection. And it's true that we now know that it's not just older people, it's younger people. But think of it. Are all younger people healthy and vital? Or are all younger people actually at risk because they're exhausted and undernourished because of the kind of food that they eat? So the point is that we live in a society where the people who are supposed to be the experts do not have the information that we need. And therefore we have to get it from each other, read books, go on the internet, look up things like how to maximize well-being, look up things like the health benefits of Tai Chi and Qigong, look up things like the health benefits of yoga, look up health benefits of meditation and mindfulness. Educate yourself. And okay, so it's true that there's a lot of sell on the internet, but you're an intelligent person. You can find out right away, is this person selling something, or is this a bona fide source of information? And when you find one source of reasonable information, then check it with another source of reasonable information, and then talk to your friends about it. And wow, I'm just startled, stunned by the fact that the people who are supposed to be telling us what to do to sustain our well-being and get back to work and thrive in this world are only talking about waiting around for a vaccine. I mean, does it make any sense to you that a sophisticated healthcare system can't do anything about an infection? Does it make any sense to you that a society that's supposed to be so sophisticated doesn't even know how to prevent chronic disease, when in fact all chronic disease is preventable? It's stunning. So anyway, I just wanted to, carry on with you a little bit in that regard. And then we'll do a little practice here in a moment, but I want to point to the fact that in the description for this little video, I put a couple of links, or actually I'm going to put those links into the comments. These are links to two videos that I made back in March, so now 3 months ago. And they've each had thousands. One of them has over 10,000 views. One of them has almost 10,000 views. And it's basically information that you can use that has no cost, that is safe and effective to maximize your capacity to navigate in a society where there's a dangerous virus around. And I want to just talk for a moment. So first of all, please share those videos with as many people as you want to. All of them are just basically grandma's home remedies that nobody ever talks about, that are actually very, very powerful. And so I'm recommending that you have a look, and then also consider sharing with others. But let's talk about one more thing before we do a little practice called cloud hands, or hands like clouds, with some breath practice and some movement and some meditation. When we say boost your immune system, that doesn't mean use drugs or products or procedures that kill viruses. So in other words, boosting the immune system isn't taking a medicine. Boosting the immune system is having behaviors in your life that are functionally maximizing, which includes boosting your immune system. There are some things that we can do to attack the pathogen, and these are things like essential oils, like eucalyptus oil and oregano oil and so forth, which are actually antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. And there's some information in those videos about this particular subject. But what I'm referring to about boosting the immune system isn't something that you use to kill a virus, and you're allowed to use whatever you want to kill a virus, and do research on that. Instead, what we're talking about is maximizing functional capacity, maximizing functional capacity. And that's what that first video that you'll find in the comments is all about, is how do you maximize functional capacity? And that's very different than doing something in the moment, like hand sanitizer and washing your hands, all good things. There's actually a throat spray which goes into your, can go into your respiratory system to if you feel like you might have been with someone who had an infection, you can use simple, accessible things like apple cider vinegar and colloidal silver or microparticle silver and golden seal and essential oils like eucalyptus oil and oregano oil to actually sanitize or kill the viruses. But what I'm really talking about is maximizing functional capacity. And that happens through lifestyle choices like nutrition, rest, meditation, doing breath practices and movements like in Qigong and Tai Chi, which we're going to be doing here in just a few moments, exposing yourself to nature, having a hearty, shall we say, philosophy about your relationship with the world, even though your relationship with the world seems complex and even dangerous right now, to mine into our deepest self, to bring up into our consciousness the destiny that we are following in our lives, to how can we find our way to the essence of our own nature. When we find our way to the essence of our own nature, we are less fearful, and when we're less fearful, the immune system works more efficiently. It's just all science. And of course, ancient cultures knew about this thousands and thousands of years ago. So science is now only confirming what the humans have known all along. But we, you and I and our families, we don't believe in ourselves, and we don't believe in our heritage. We just believe in people that we see on the news that are all not all. People that we see on the news that are supposed to help us, who are not helping us. They are disempowering us and making us feel like we should wait and hide until a medical solution is developed, instead of actually taking care of the equipment that we've been given that actually makes medicine and makes us resilient in the presence of infectious agents. All right, so rant, right? But it's so disappointing to have the people who are supposed to be helping us just being the mouthpiece of people who don't know what they're talking about, or worse, being the voice that says you can't do anything. You have to wait until somebody else solves the problem. We are endowed, as it says in the Declaration of Independence, with unalienable rights. That means things that we can never be separated from. And one of those endowments is that we have a medicine-making machine that we live in. But nobody ever said, like, well, how do you turn this machine on? And so let's do that now. So we're going to do a few moments, just a few moments, but this is intent to inspire you, so that you if you go to the videos that are part of my Facebook page, or if you go to the video links that I'm going to put into the comments, there's plenty of guidance for how to do these practices. So right now we're just going to do one called Cloud Hands. Cloud Hands. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit so that you can see my bottom hand and my top hand. So first we're going to arrange ourselves between heaven and earth, or between the sky and the ground. And think of it, there's a part of you that wants to be grounded, but there's a part of you that wants to be inspired. And those two parts come together to create who you are. So align yourself between the openness and enthusiasm of sky and the groundedness and focus of earth. And then align your three treasures. Aligning the three treasures means posture, breath, and mind. Those are the three treasures: posture, breath, and mind. So adjust your posture so that you're lengthening, and you could be standing or sitting. Then deepen your breath. Second treasure, the breath. Big, deep, slow, relaxed breath. And when we link movement and breathing, deep breathing, the movement slows down, and the breath and the movement work together, particularly if we focus the mind on what we're doing now. Third treasure, focus the mind. And just for the simplicity of the moment, what we'll say is that the focus of the mind is to pay attention to what we're doing now. That's just simply it. So it's going to be body movement, which turns on internal resources, breath practice, which turns on internal resources, and focusing on the present moment, which turns on internal resources. And the collaboration and convergence of these three treasures is the secret that the ancients discovered thousands of years ago, that there is now mountains of science to confirm. So let's use those practices from thousands of years ago that have been confirmed by science right now, and you'll see how easy it is to turn on the medicine within. Here we go. Raise your hands. One hand comes down across the front. So now both hands are on one side. Lower your top hand, raise your bottom hand. Turn your torso so that both hands pass in front of you. When your hands get to this side, bottom hand up, top hand down. Back the other way. Turn your torso, bottom hand up, top hand down. Now let's think about how to link the breathing. Let's go breathe in here as your hands change positions. Now breathe out. Breathe in here. Big breath. Slowly breathe out through the nose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, while you're doing this, imagine where you could be if the clouds were not up there, but instead were right here. If the clouds are in front of us, we're not at usual ground level. And because these practices were developed before airplanes, we're not in an airplane. So I'll just tell you, in case you haven't figured it out yet, we're in the mountains. Now, when you are in the mountains, watching clouds passing, that's the name of this practice. Watching clouds passing. Breath in. Breath out. When you're in the mountains, what are you doing? Are you answering texts and emails? Are you promoting products? Are you loving your job or not loving your job? Are you worrying? Or when you're in the mountains, are you inspired? Just keep going. The practice is breathe in and breathe out as these clouds are passing. Breathe in and breathe out, watching clouds. Now, usually when we see beautiful clouds, we just say, oh, those are beautiful clouds, and then we get back into the car and drive away. But right now, we're settling in to the present moment. We're appreciating the nature of clouds and the beauty of clouds and what clouds mean. So in other words, we're not thinking about concerns and considerations, taking a vacation from complexity. One more time. Exhale softly. Now cross your hands in front of you. We're going to do now gathering from earth. And if we were standing, we would actually sink down. Right now, we're just going to allow ourselves to lower, sink down, gather from the earth, as if you're gathering some kind of powerful healing resource and just dumping it in to your body. And then reach up. And, while you're doing this, your arms are moving and you're pumping your lymphatics that are here under your arms, and your breath is full. Big breath in. And breathing out now. Gathering from earth. Breath in. Exhale as you pour earth resources into your being, and imagine, feel that by doing so, you're maximizing capacity. And really what you're doing is that you're stopping everything else. So when I describe, don't stop, just keep going. Use your breath however it's comfortable for you to link the breath, or don't even worry about the breath at all. Just breathe normally. See if you can stay focused on what's happening now, not what you think you should be doing, but what you are doing. And if you can't do this practice now, then come back later. One more. Big, huge, deep breaths. And then let's just bring our hands onto our hearts. Take a moment for gratitude, because if you're watching this video, you're able in some way or another, even if you're compromised by a virus or some kind of chronic disorder, or you may be under the weight of a time deadline. And just take a couple more seconds. Big deep breath. And allow yourself to feel a wave of gratitude. Even if you're angry or feeling just misplaced in a turbulent world, take a moment to feel the gratitude of not being hungry. I mean starving hungry. Of not being injured from walking in the streets these days in support of fellow citizens. Or just be thankful for anything you wish, or cast back into the past of your life and remember your favorite grandma for just a moment, or your favorite friend from long ago that you may not have even seen lately. We're casting into the past right now, but we're doing it now in a way of gratitude. And now let's close. Closing is kind of like gathering from around you, gathering from the earth energy and the living things, the trees and the birds and the bees, and then gathering from the great boundless sky. And bathe yourself as if you're bathing yourself in some kind of profound healing resource. All the organs of your face, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, brain, all of the organs of your body, thyroid gland, heart, lungs, thymus gland, spine, ribs, spleen, pancreas, stomach, liver, gallbladder, kidneys, adrenal glands, large and small intestine, hands in your lap, one more big deep breath. And allow me to conclude our time together with one gong in celebration of the natural power that we have within us, that we can use, that we can share with others, that we can talk about. Don't depend on the experts to tell you how to take care of yourself, because it's not going to happen. This gong is for the natural presence of healing resources within our own being, granted by the Great Spirit, or God, or the quantum convergence in boundlessness and timelessness. That inborn, inherent, health maximizing power. Thank you so much, and wishing you many blessings.